It's 7. It's 7:29, but fuck it. We're live with another episode of BS Busters, and I'm joined by one of the usual suspects. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Uh, this is Kenoshi Abominito here to say they all want your money and nothing more.
That's true. This is Mr. Red Fox, owner proprietor BS Busters, and we have a shorter cast this week because it's been kind of quiet, more or less. I mean, there's some more PC based stuff, but I think my co-panelists will dive into that at a later time. Um,
Yeah.
so there's three topics for tonight's cast, plus free topic and hot takes. The first topic is that GTA 6 leak. Um, you've seen various people on the YouTube sphere saying, and the Twitter sphere, and gaming in general, well, we should feel sorry for the developers, and people leaked this, and it's an early build, and all that stuff. I don't really care either way. Uh, while I do realize it's an early build and people are like, well, they can still fix it. There comes a point with any product that even if it's an early build, if people are sticking with that, it's still not going to get fixed. Case in point,
Yeah.
I'm going to use another medium as an example. Recently, Netflix went on a canceling spree, and they canceled this show called Resident Evil, a TV series that was terrible. Well, the screenplay uh, for that, the script for that leaked, and people were like, if they go with this script, show's going to be a piece of shit. And they went with that script, and the show was a piece of shit. Um, so, with that being said, just because something leaks early, if the core concept, the central conceit of the game is built around a certain concept and it's not very good, doesn't matter all the polish you do, all the pixels you add, all the optimization you do. If the central conceit of the game is not very good, doesn't matter. Um, so for me, like, I'm probably not going to be an early adopter of GTA 6, but if GTA 6 is anything like GTA 5 was, I'm not going to get it anyway. Um, if the single player is a glorified tutorial for the online multiplayer, if single player content if content that should have went to the single player is dumped into the online multiplayer where they could charge exorbitant amounts of money for it, not interested. um they're like, the fact that, oh well, they might have two playable protagonists, one female, one male, I don't give a shit about that's cool. The fact that it took this long for Rockstar to have a female protagonist in a GTA game is sad, because you could have a female protagonist in Saints Row for years.
Yep.
Y'all just got caught up to the party, huh? um, yeah, it's like, I don't really care. It depends on how well, like, I'm more interested in underlying gameplay mechanics. Like, is driving a car, like driving a car in GTA in the sixth gen, like on GTA on the PS2 and the Xbox 360, like Vice City and San Andreas and GTA 3 on those games, where driving felt like very light and arcadey. That was fine for the sixth gen. But once you're in GTA 5 and driving a car still feels just icky, or let me be more articulate with my descriptions. Driving in GTA 5 feels like, if you're driving a heavy vehicle, it feels like you're driving a tank that the treads are covered with banana peels on an ice skating rink.
Yeah. I mean, driving in those games, you do a lot of driving, you do a lot of shooting, and GTA is not very good at either of those.
Yeah,
At least in my
the
opinion.
shooting on PC, the shooting's not bad if you switch to mouse and keyboard, like
Yeah.
for fine aiming. But on console with a controller, oh, it's terrible.
You'd figure a game where you're doing a lot of those things, you'd
It'd be
figure
better,
it
yeah.
would be better. Yeah.
You want to play a game that has really great driving, a sandbox style game where driving feels good. Go play Saints Row 4 or 3. Like jump into a car in Saints Row 3 and floor it on a fast car. It feels like a fast car. Like when you get up to a good speed, you feel like you have some speed and control over it. You get none of that in GTA 5. GTA Five's driving feels terrible. Even with the so-called Franklin, who's supposed to be like the character who gets a bonus to his driving stats, even his driving isn't very good. Like that game is just ugh, it's god awful. GTA 5 in terms of its physics engine feels like a upgraded version of GTA 6, but not in the way that matters. Um so yeah, GTA 6 leaked. Okay. Uh is the gameplay going to be better? Is shooting going to be better? Are they going to strip out more features that were in past games and then basically pigeonhole those into the online multiplayer? Like, hey, remember how you could go to different stores and wear different outfits? Oh, you can't do that now. There's only like we're paring it down from like because GTA 6, I mean San Andreas, you had like five stores you could buy shit from, clothing from in GTA San Andreas. You had four in GTA 4. You went back up to five. You went back up to five in GTA Vice and GTA 5. But the problem is, you had a very limited selection of outfits you could wear. And I'm gonna say it right now. The music in GTA 4 and 5, like the radio station selection, was shit.
Yeah.
Like now, part of that could be a period thing, like they just didn't want to license the music. But I mean, like you say whatever you want to, whether you like San Andreas or Vice City or not. Those games have really memorable soundtracks. Like you could literally just get in your car in those games and turn on the radio and just listen to the music,
Yeah.
and it was good. It's like, you're playing Vice City. You're listening to Billie Jean from Michael Jackson. Like the opening scene of the game is you're listening to Billie Jean in the original version of the game, not that bullshit ass remaster they did, definitive edition. So, what are your thoughts on it, Kadoshi? Yay, nay, agree, disagree? Anything you would like to see added to the series?
Yeah, like you said, better shooting, better driving. Um, I like to maybe more like physics when it comes to destroying, like being able to destroy buildings, uh, being able to influence the world a little bit more in a way, like have some like RPG elements where your actions actually have a impact on
Consequence?
the world. Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
be
with
cool
your
with that.
choices. It could be interesting. Um, but I know this whole thing has gotten out of control with the leaks that the FBI and apparently Rockstar call the FBI because honestly, I think it was an inside job.
Probably.
I think a lot of these leaks
You know,
are inside jobs.
I mean, it could have been someone who was working, artist who was working on that got fired and said, why am I not allowed to show my work?" Which I think technically you should, like, if you work on something, you should be able to show your work instead of just some random, some muy mouthed, like kind of like I worked on a game and I'm an artist, but you can't show your work that you did on it. Um, but I mean, we're in America where workers' rights have been under attack for many, 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 many years. So, unfortunately, that's the world we live in now.
Yeah.
But you have anything else to say?
Oh, no, not on not. not too much. I just know that. Actually, yeah. One more thing. I just know that it seems like they've been having problems over there at Rockstar. We have Um, they seem creatively bankrupt because they haven't made a new GTA since GTA 5 because GTA 5 has been making them a lot of money. And then you
Well,
had the whole
let's add one caveat.
GTA.
GTA Online made a lot of money. GTA 5, they've been giving that away so that people get GTA Online.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good point. Um, you also have, aside the fact that GTA remake, the GTA, the three GTA
Oh,
games,
the definitive edition that was anything but
uh,
definitive?
yeah, they should have. They were really dumb on who they hired for that. It seems like whoever was in charge at Rockstar didn't know what they were doing.
No. Well, they knew what
Um,
they were doing. They were getting a studio that was cheap to make a remake of the games that made Rockstar what Rockstar is on the cheap. And then they acted surprised that getting a cheap underfunded studio to remake arguably, I don't think GTA 3 is that good, but I know that Vice City and San Andreas are two of the best GTAs ever made. You got the cheapest fucking studio you could find to remake games that themselves were underfunded on top of that, didn't have enough staff, and then you acted surprised that those turned out to be bad. You know?
uh,
It's like someone saying, "Hey, you need a new roof. That'll be $20,000." And you say, "Well, I'll give you. I can't give you $20,000. Can you find someone to do it for five?" And then you get surprised that your $5,000 roof replacement is fucked up. Like, oh, my roof isn't. It's raining and it's leaking in my house. Oh, really? it's that's surprising to you.
yeah,
But yeah, no. Let's continue. Sorry.
yeah. So yeah, that's basically about it. I just think Rockstar just isn't who they used to be. So I wouldn't have too much confidence in this game,
Yeah, I mean
especially the single player aspect of it, because
yeah when the yeah, I agree with you. When the Hauser brothers split up, Doug and Steve Hauser, when I think Steve left and the other one stayed, like you saw the writing on the wall. It's like when the two guys who founded BioWare left BioWare, BioWare was fucked.
yeah,
You know? Um, so the people were like, well, maybe, no. Nah, I don't foresee this
yeah,
coming out well.
yeah, yeah. I don't either.
Yeah, I don't. I Here's what I think. I think this is just my own supposition. I could be wrong. I think what's going to happen is this. I think GTA 6 is going to come out in 2024. I think it's going to be like Red Dead Redemption 2, where the online isn't going to take off like GTA Online did. Um, it's going to do better than Red Dead Redemption Online did, but not like the numbers that Rockstar thinks it should. And because they're going to split the development between the online development and the single player is going to be shit like GTA 5 single player was. And you're going to have shit that should be in the single player game that's going to be shunted over to the online game. The resources are going to have to be split between the two. And because you can't monetize a single player game after you sell it unless you do expansions, and they would rather put, instead of doing an expansion for the single player, they can just make recurrent money off of online. So that's what they're going to do. Do I want that to happen? No, but you know,
Yeah. Well, I hope. Yeah, I know GTA is a beloved franchise. I hope it turns out well, but this ain't the Rockstar of the mid 2000s.
well, no, they aren't nearly as productive. I mean, don't forget in the mid 2000s. Actually, I would say the early 2000s to the mid 2000s. Let's say 2000, 2010. Rockstar was releasing 3 to 4 games every like 3 or 4 years. Like in the sixth gen alone, they did Manhunt, Manhunt 2, um, the Rockstar tennis game. They did a racing game that people loved. They did the Warriors. They did GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas.
Yeah.
All that in the sixth gen. You're talking about a period of 6 or 7 years, like 5 games in 6 or 7 years. And not
Right.
all of those were, massive successes, but all of them were moved the needle forward. Then the seventh gen happened, and they did GTA 4 and Red Dead Redemption. Now, I'm gonna include the expansions with GTA 4 because actually the expansions for GTA, while I will say that the base GTA 4 isn't very good, the expansions are really good. Lost and Damned and the Ballad of Gay Tony are some of the best expansions I have seen in a single player game for a very long time
Yeah.
because they radically change the game and they tell you have completely different protagonists in both games. Like personally, I think that the main character in the Ballad of Gay Tony should have been the main character for GTA 4 instead of uh 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 um forgot the guy's name, Nico Bellic.
Yeah. Yeah, I never played that game, but I heard good things about the gay tuning part. I mean, I played GTA 4. I got bored of it, but I heard good things about the Bella Gay Tony part.
Yeah, the problem with GTA 4 is that Nico Bellic is just it's boring. It takes about you need to put at least 25 to 30 hours into the base game until it like all the islands open up and you can start doing all the shit that's in the game. But who the fuck wants to put 30 hours into a game until it opens up? Especially not something like an RPG where there's other shit you can do to build your characters up. You have to play through the game in order to get to that point. But the expansion, Lost and Damned, is actually a really hard expansion. I played it. You're a biker, and just like everything plays differently in that way. The Ballad of Gay Tony, though, really does feel like, oh wait, this should have been the main character.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, the main character of the Ballad of Gay Tony is Luis Fernando Lopez, who is a former military. He's a former Marine, and his boss, his business partner, is Gay Tony Prince, who's a gay guy, and Louis is not gay, but his boss is gay, and he's like kind of like he's the muscle, he's the right hand man, like he's the dude who gets shit done. And basically, the thing is like, but there's also a lot of humor in the Ballad of Gay Tony. There's the missions are interesting, the story is interesting. I'm like, why the fuck did they make this the main campaign and Nico Bellic the thing? Because Nico Bellic, I will take this to my dying day. Nico Bellic is the second worst GTA protagonist of the 3D era.
Yeah.
I think number one is Claude. He's the main character in GTA 3. Number two is Nico Bellic in terms of worst GTA protagonists. After that, I would say maybe Trevor, just because Trevor is a psychopath. Um, and maybe Michael after that, because he's just a selfish asshole. Um, So yeah, uh, yeah. The GTA 4 is just like really hard to get into, but if you can get past that, um, it's actually really good.
Yeah.
Um, if you can get the key word is if you can get past that. So, but anyway, yeah, I really want you know, I mean, is GTA 6 going to be good? Probably not. It's probably going to be like the only thing that makes that I say it's not going to be as bad as Red Dead Redemption 2 is that like at least in a GTA game or other sandbox style game, you can get in your car and listen to music. Red Dead Redemption's boring as fuck, and all you can do is get on a horse and just ride, which is even more boring than getting in a car and listening to music. And you can change the stations. Oh, I don't like this song. Change to a station. You do. You find something to listen to. You got none of that in Red Dead Redemption, which is why it was even worse than GTA. So I think we've
Yeah.
beaten that horse to death. Let's move on to the next one. Paper Mario. I think the last few iterations have been shit. I think it could
Yeah.
be better. Kenoshi, you have any thoughts on that?
I haven't not really been interested in the last iterations either. But yeah, they definitely can do. They could definitely can be better. That's for sure. But I think what they need to do is obviously return to focusing more on the RPG elements of the game rather than all the other stuff that they've been doing, and having more variety in the NPCs. Because I've noticed they've really lacked in the variety of NPCs. Because there's like there's a town with Koopas, there's a town with Goombas, there's a town with certain various different creatures in the Mario world. There are obviously bad Goombas and good Goombas, and bad Koopas and good Koopas. So it's just rather than every NPC be another Toad.
Yeah, I wish they would do that. I wish they would go back to having interesting one-off characters that have unique concepts because that bullshit they like Origami King the prologue the prologue of it is like, oh, this is interesting, and then after you get out of the wispy woods, the game just starts going downhill.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, so you're not gonna do anything cool, just bullshit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but yeah, I wish they would go back to actually having interesting characters. Can we please bring back? Can we get rid of the item? Like Nintendo, for some reason, for the last like with their adventure games and RPGs, why are we going back to item degradation over time?
Yeah.
Like that shit's annoying. Okay,
Yeah.
stop it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
but that's my opinion. Um, yeah, I truly do think that it could be. Um, I do think that I do think that I do think that sorry, I do think that Paper Mario definitely needs to be revamped. Either revamp the franchise and do something completely new, or which is what they keep on trying to do and fucking it up, or this is a nice segue. Go back to do a throwback design to the OG game or the second game. That's the third
Yeah.
topic. Um, you know, and either go all the way back to the way it used to be, or just stop making the game because Origami King sucked
Yeah.
and Color Splash sucked and Sticker Star sucked.
Yeah.
So you got three games that all were just not very good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess obviously those games, quote unquote, did better. I guess compared to the first two Paper Mario's, but I don't know. Maybe they should have been okay with it being a niche product because it wasn't. It's not like Paper Mario's that hard to develop. It's not like I mean, obviously, it's not like it's Paper Mario games take up that much resources.
All right. Anything else?
No,
All right. So I guess we can go to hot takes and hot takes and free topic. So do you have a hot take, something that you want to share about gaming or life in general that pop culture? You're like, actually, I gotta say this. I gotta say it.
I think people need to move on from certain companies and brands because everybody gets up in arms about why Sega or why Konami or why are you doing this? And they have to realize that these aren't the same companies that they were 20, 30 years ago, and that people have and that a lot of the talent that made the companies what they were, they have to um they left. They started their own studios or just decided to do something else. And yeah, you know, maybe it's just time to move on from them.
All right. Um. Yeah, I do think that I do think that the thing is that people start to. I mean, it's like I've said before. People start to have comfort branding where they think that they identify with a company or a product to the point where like it consumes their identity.
Yeah.
And if it does something they don't like, if you mention it, they get mad. Oh, don't say that. It's like, well, I have to say it, you know? Or if it's something that they like, if you complain about it or point out a discrepancy, it's like you're hating or you're being disloyal. It's like, no, this fuck it. Like if a company uh provides a service that is if a company that I might necessarily subscribe to their service but provides a service where they charge you more but they're stripping out benefits from that service, and I say that's bullshit, that's wrong, and person agrees with me, says, yeah, you're right. That is bullshit. That is wrong. And then when I point out that something that they're subscribed to is doing the same shit, and they're like, well, it's different. Oh, no, it's not. It's the same shit. If it was wrong for that company to do that over there, then it's wrong for this company to do it over here. There's no, like, you can't differentiate that shit um, between the two examples. Um, I have a hot take. It's about two things. First of all, I recently watched the first 3 episodes of Andor on
Yeah.
Disney Plus, and oh man, oh god, you don't know how good it feels to watch a Star Wars show that doesn't try to make everyone into a hero. Like, some people are just pieces of shit, and there's no getting around it.
Yeah.
Um, and I love it. I like the fact that you get to see. Yeah, you have the part of the Empire that's like, we're gonna grind your foot into the side of the road with our boot heel and all that shit. But then you got the people who have to do the paperwork to make shit run in the background, and they're assholes too. But they hate
Yeah.
their job just like anybody else. It's like, man, I hate working with this guy over here. He's an asshole. I'm gonna point him to HR. Like, it's I love it. It's a little slow paced, but I just like the fact that we're finally getting, like, we're not going to a desert planet and there's no force users. Oh god, you don't know how good it feels to not see any of this shit. I'm happy. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Um, Now, I mean, like, here's the thing. I'm not against force users, but it's nice that there's, like, statistically, not everyone you should be seeing in a Star Wars film should be able to use the force. God damn it.
Yeah.
Stop with that shit. Um, and my other hot take is I'm still enjoying She-Hulk.
That's good.
I'm still enjoying it. I like it. Okay? I'm sorry. I like tall, curvy, dark-skinned women. I have a problem. And the only solution is more cowbell. No, I'm joking. That's from Saturday Night Live. But yeah, I am. My hot take is just I'm getting tired of people complaining about shit. Let people enjoy what they want to enjoy, as long as it's not bothering you. Now, if a company is doing something where if it succeeds, it's gonna fuck up the entire makeup of that particular thing, okay, you have the right to be a little perturbed or be like, oh, don't buy into it, because if you buy into it, it's gonna fuck up the whole thing. Um, like people buying into Nintendo's lackluster fucking online service. People complaining, oh, well, they took out features. Yeah, but y'all paid for the $20, so now they're giving you a little bit more with still less functionality for $50. That's y'all dumbasses paid for that shit. Don't complain now. Shit. um. Anyway, that's my hot take. I guess we're on to free topic, and then we can wrap things up. So, do you have anything you want to bring up? Anything that you think people should be talking about, but they haven't been talking about? Where you're like, I think people need to say something about this.
If I think what would be pretty cool if they made a GTA in that comic book art style that they use for their cover art.
So, like a
Like
cell shaded GTA.
yeah, maybe in a cyberpunk sort of universe. I like see GTA like in that comic book art style that they have.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily want it to be cyberpunk, but I could see where that art style would be really good. They kind of did that with GTA Chinatown Wars.
Yeah, yeah,
I would be cool if they were to make like a smaller scale GTA. Like smaller scale for now, so it would be more like GTA 6. I mean GTA Vice City San Andreas 3, but with that cell shaded look. I would like that. That would actually be kind of fun. Like, don't give it to the A team, give it to the B team. Give them a budget, like for people who want old school GTA, because I don't like modern GTA these days. I think it's kind of shit, really, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like I said, GTA hasn't been good since GTA. I mean, Uh, I'm gonna say San Andreas. Vice City and San Andreas are still like the best GTA's ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be cool. I wish more people were talking about it, but you know, no one's gonna talk about it because why? Why should they?
Also, good news. Konami's remaking Suikoden 1 and 2.
Well, they're not really remaking it; they're re-releasing it.
Re-releasing it. Yeah.
Yeah, if it was a remake, it would be like a ground up, some new shit. But they ain't doing that.
I saw some of the trailer and it looked like they updated the visuals.
Yeah, they probably did. I don't think Konami's putting that much effort into these remakes. And at this point, I would rather see what the people who made the first Suikoden games are doing now, that new shit they're making, than play the old Suikoden games. At this point, because I've played those games and beat them, and I'm like, these are fine, but you know, those games don't age very well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people look at Suikoden through rose-tinted goggles, but if you really play Suikoden, Suikoden has problems.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's a problem that in Suikoden, there are entire parts of that game that hinge on these duels that essentially devolve into rock, paper, scissors that are randomized. There's no tells. You just have to hope for the best.
Yeah. Now they're
Yeah, they remastered it. Yeah.
Also playing. I played the Suikoden 2. I started playing Suikoden 2. This was a few years ago. One of the problems the game has is they don't. There's a point in the game where they don't really tell you where to go, or
Yeah.
don't make it clear where you have to go next.
Yeah, Suikoden is one of those games that even back then, you probably, if you had the manual, read the manual. Go online, look at the the FAQ.
That's some of the problems that some of those older JRPGs had. There's that Secret Mana game for the PlayStation I play that doesn't tell you really anything. You just gotta hope that you're taking the right path. So you pretty much have to watch a video or find FAQ online to figure out. Well, okay, how do I progress through this game without screwing the story up completely?
Yeah, because the whole point of a Suikoden game is to get all 108 sacred stars. So to recruit all 108 characters, and that's how you get the best ending. But there's choices you can make that fuck that up, and you don't get the best ending. So you have a choice you have analysis paralysis, as they call it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why whenever I play not GTA, when I play Suikoden or any of those types of games like that, I always have a walkthrough with me.
Yeah.
And I know some people say, well, doesn't that take away the fun? No, it does not.
I mean, running around in a circle trying to figure out what you're supposed to do next, because I mean, I get it. People complain about games holding your hand a little bit too much, and sometimes they do. But sometimes you leaving people in the dark like that can get annoying too.
Yeah, because to recruit some characters, it's like some obscure shit that you would never figure it out. It's like, hey, you want to recruit Tiamat, or Tabaku the Beaver Man, and Suikoden 1, oh, you have to do this obscure side quest that no one fucking knew about, and not ask him to join you when he asked to join you. He'll join later on in the next chapter. It's like, what the fuck? How the fuck am I supposed to know that? Like, shit like that is the problem with Suikoden.
One of the things the internet is kind of, or the internet, as big as it is kind of. I mean, I guess it's still kind of there, but I remember when I was a kid, talking to other friends about video games and some of the weird things that they discovered in various games, or the weird cheats that they came across or whatever, and you know, um, and I guess I am, and I guess it still kind of exists today, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel the same as it did when you were actually talking to people about it.
Oh yeah, that was the best way to do it back in the day. But I'm just like now, like you're right. Like having that ability to talk to someone was really cool. But I mean, we have the internet. Like if you want to know, like if you have an issue with like, hey, I want to understand how to beat this boss in this game. You can go on YouTube and look it up. You can go like I was watching a guy called You Could Beat Video Games, right? You can beat video games, and he's like, yeah, this is the ultimate Final Fight way to get through Final Fight. Now, for the Super Nintendo. Now, I Final Fight for the Super Nintendo, I know that game like the back of my hand. Up and down, side to side, left to right. Okay? I could probably beat that game in my sleep. Um, and I learned some shit from him that I didn't know. But there was some shit he was doing that he didn't know. you know?
Yeah, yeah, and another thing is that one of the biggest problems you run into when you're a kid is that you might be one of those kids that's playing this obscure game, because I didn't know about the game Suikoden until I watched what's his name, I can't remember, but it was a YouTuber. It was going down a list of like the best JRPGs that weren't made by Square Enix. And Suikoden 2 was on that list. I had to figure I didn't know about that game until like, you know, let's just say like 10, 20 years after the PS1 was out. So it's just like, or you might have uh, an obscure game that nobody else plays. Like,
Yeah.
that you're the one kid that has this weird game nobody else plays, nobody else knows about it. And so your only choice is either hope to God that they made a strategy guide for the game, or if yeah if your parents had the money, have
Get
go
the
on the internet.
Yeah, go on the
Get
internet.
on there.
Well, yeah, because that's how it was back in the day. You didn't find out about shit until you didn't find out about shit until after the fact. Or like there's certain games even now where I would tell someone, "Oh, you're gonna get that game? Don't get that game unless you can get the strategy guide for it." Like Bait and Katos. Don't play Bait and Katos if you can't unless you can find the strategy guide. Like now, a lot of that shit you can get online. But back in the
Yeah.
day, had to you had to do the best you could.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, it was
Yes.
yeah. Never mind, I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, I think there are a lot of games people view with rose tinted glasses. I think let's see, what's another game that people um think. I mean, like you said, Ocarina of Time. Um, Definitely one of those games has. you play Ocarina of Time, then you play Twilight Princess, and then you realize Twilight Princess is a better Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, I've said that to people. Baiting Katos is the superior. I mean, not baiting. Ocarina of Time is the better. I mean, Twilight Princess is
Yeah,
the
Twilight
better.
Princess.
Twilight Princess is the better Ocarina of Time.
I think Sonic the Hedgehog 3 to me, I think it's a game people see with rose tinted glasses. I think the levels are just a bit too long in that
Yeah,
game.
they're over designed because the thing is that Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is that those levels were designed so that all three characters can go through them. So Tails, Knuckles, and Sonic. But the problem is that they were designed primarily for Sonic.
Yeah.
You know, um, I think Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is the best of the 2D Sonic OG Sonic the Hedgehog games.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
think
would
two has
agree.
the best design levels. I think two has some of the best music. The levels are consistent
Yeah.
in terms of you moving along. I think the only downside of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is you kind of have to pick a path and stick with it. It's hard to switch from one path to another once you know a route because the timing of the level changes where everything's fucked up. So that's kind of the problem with two. I think one has one of the best openings. I think Green Hill Zone is still a really good opening, but then they fuck it up with the next level where you're inside of those ruins and you're underwater. And Sonic the Hedgehog, characters whose whole thing is running fast, is running fucking slowly, which is just uh, not very well good.
Yeah.
Not very well designed. I think Sonic Mania is the best 2D well designed Sonic game ever, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Too bad we had to wait 30, 40 years to get
Yeah, and
it.
fans had to make it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Oh
how
man.
fucking sad do you have to be? How much of a bullshit ass company do you have to be where fans have to make your best game?
Yeah.
That's just
I,
embarrassing.
by what I've heard, it seemed like some bridges were burnt um,
With that other
with
Sonic
those
game?
with the developers of that game because they also made the remake, the Sonic Collection.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
and they forced them to come to make it come out, even though they were like, yeah, this game, we need some more time to make it to get it presentable. No, you got to get it out now. Like, but it's not
basically,
it's not ready, and it's gonna fuck up our it's gonna mess up our reputation, and that's all we have. Well, fuck your reputation. It's gonna come out.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's a shame because those people were pretty as those people were pretty talented developers,
I mean,
and
I think they
to
still
see
are
that
talented
transition.
developers, but if you rush someone beyond what the agreed time is,
Yeah, I mean that's what I meant to say. They're talented developers, and it's a shame that they were treated the way that they were treated.
yeah. But what are you gonna do? You know.
Yeah. That's all I
Unfortunately,
have.
that's the world
Yeah.
we live in. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
um, that's the world we live in. Um, anyway, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. That's the end of the cast. Anything you want to pimp out before we wrap things up?
Yeah, this is Kanoshi Abominito. Next Tuesday, next episode of Project Console will go up. Titled the title of it. I already have a title of it after a lot of the news that's come out. Ada the Gold Digger. That'll be uh that'll be the next title of the show. I hope to see you there.
All right. This is the end of the podcast. We're ending it early because we covered all our topics. We didn't have a huge amount this cast. Hopefully, we'll have more next cast. Thank you for joining us. If you want to get in touch with the channel, you can reach me at mrredfoxbsbusters@gmail.com or Discord. It's in the description. Um, my Discord. Um, the Discord channel is called BS Busters. Yes, we actually have a branded Discord for the channel. I'm in the process of setting up my Twitch, my internet for my Twitch thing to work out. So look forward to Twitch starting to happen sometime in October. I probably might even do a live stream Halloween where I'm going to I might do a live stream Halloween, maybe not, I don't know. Where I'll do a let's play of Super Castlevania 4, something like that. Anyway, that's the end of the cast. Rate, comment, share, subscribe, and peace.